Okay, once you've taken your photographs, you can come back and use some apps on your phone to edit them. I've got all of my apps that I like to use in one folder here called photography, and I'm going to go through them very quickly. Basically, the top line is a series of apps that are used to take photographs with and give you different options. I've not got time to go through each one, and there are so many out there that I'm only just scratching the surface of what is available. You really need to get into the App Store and experiment with what is available, whatever smartphone you're using. Okay, let me just go through what I have and just show you quickly what they do. Camera Plus is a great photography app that gives you far more options than you have with the iPhone camera itself. Hipstamatic is a creative app that gives you lots of old types of camera styles as you shoot the photographs. And then Limi and Camera 360 also other types of creative applications. Now, I'm not going to go into these in great detail and open them all up. You need to discover them for yourselves, but be careful because you should be limited, particularly if you're working as a journalist, by your editorial ethical guidelines on what you can and what you can't do. Now, these first 4 applications are applications for taking the picture, but actually I normally like to use the iPhone itself to take the photographs and then use the apps later to change them. That way I can always go back to the original pure photograph if I seem to be pushing it too far. The bottom, iPhoto, probably the most popular of editing applications. FilterStorm, probably the most powerful. Snapseed, a very good professional tool, as is Plastic Bullet. These are all tools for editing, post-production with your pictures. I'm going to go into Camera Plus, which is actually my favorite application, not only for taking photographs with, but also for editing. I picked one of the pictures from here already. I just pressed the plus key and chosen an image that I wanted to work with, and I go into edit, and I'm going to show you some of the possibilities that we have here. Here is a picture of a girl that I took a picture of as she looked through a window at me from the school that we went to when I was visiting with Ian. Now, the first button to look at is the clarity. Clarity is like a magic button. What it does is it looks at all the areas that are dark and tries to make them lighter, and the areas that are too light and tries to make them darker. Now, in this case, what it's done is it's looked behind the image here and tried to lighten the area behind. But actually, I kind of like it without that too light because it really focuses on the girl herself. There's also an auto. And then I can use other things. The auto hasn't done a bad job. Flash, if you've used flash or you need a bit of foreground flash, it'll put that in. You can see there, backlight, etc. I won't go through all of these one by one. But actually for this one, I don't think I need to do anything. I think the original photograph is okay. But the colors are a little bit too strong. So that's going to go now into my other options. Adjust is to turn it. I don't need to turn it. Crop is to go square if you want. Actually, square works really well if you are sending it to Instagram or you're sending it to a photo sharing site, which tend to prefer square. But again, for this particular one, I'm going to go back to the original and say no. And then we come into effects, and this is the kind of fun part where you can play around with it. Now for me, I don't want to do too much with it. I could do things like a depth of field, which will create a soft focus around the edges. As you can see, the wire here is going out of focus a little bit. But for my particular publication, they won't allow me to do that. The only thing I can do is possibly go black and white. This is an HDR. I pressed that by mistake. Okay, and here, if I come into analog, I've got some really nice black and whites. Now the colors are a bit too strong for me, and I really love this picture in black and white. That's kind of soft edit or with one, and then this one is a little bit harsher, but it really kind of emphasizes the girl and makes it very, very strong. So I like that. I'm going to use this for now, and I'm just going to finish up by placing a border on it. Just going to make it simpler. Now they might take it out if they publish it, but putting a thin black border in it just makes it more like an exhibition print as I've made it black and white. Very easy to do. Once I've done, I go done, and then I just save it. And again, it's putting it straight onto my camera roll. If I wanted to put it onto Twitter or Facebook, I can do that also from the app. And it's as simple as that. And I think there isn't really a right or wrong way. You have to be careful to work within your ethical codes that your publications might want you to work with. Apart from that, there's so many apps and so many opportunities to play around. It's really quite fun to play. Okay, that's the end of the photography section for now.